Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Mo and Deb.
Hi, everybody.
We're making a recipe. Actually, Mo's making it today, and I'm going to let you tell all about it.
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all about this. The first time I ate this, I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. Daryl's mother, who we affectionately call called Mamaw. She's no longer with us. But she was the best cook in the whole world, y'all. I mean, she could cook anything, and it was always delicious. But this is her actual handwritten recipe, and it is Mamaw's old-fashioned chicken stew. That is what I call it. I mean, this recipe is handed down from her mother and probably her grandmother from when they used to go out in the yard and catch their own chickens and kill them and
Can you
cut
imagine
them
how
up.
to do that now?
Oh my goodness. I don't think I could do it. Do y'all?
No.
But anyway, this chicken stew is so good. If you make this, everyone's going to love it. And you will get rave reviews in the kitchen. I guarantee it. My family loves it.
It sounds yummy.
And
Can't
it's
wait to try
easy.
it.
It's basically putting things in a pot. And so let me just go through the ingredients really quick for you. You're going to have 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts that I have already boiled here, and they're done.
So how did you do the boiled chicken breast? Did you put anything in there in the water?
I didn't put anything in there, just
Okay.
put them in my stock pot and boiled them for about
No salt
30,
or
35
pepper?
minutes.
Okay.
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
Just boiled them till they were done. And you know, with these chicken breasts, the recipe actually called for 6. But you know what I found out, Debbie?
What's that, Mo?
Apparently, the chickens back in the day didn't have as big a breast as the chickens of today.
Some of those chickens today are
I
huge.
know. So they have actually had some work done, I think, these new chickens of 2020. But anyway, so I've cut it down to 4 chicken breasts. So that's just a little side note. So you got your chicken breast. You're going to cook your chicken until it's done. And then we've got our broth that came from that here. Now, when you're using boneless chicken breast, you don't get as much broth, as you know.
I didn't know that's why.
Yeah, so
Okay.
when you use the bone-in chicken, which you can do for sure, but then you get a lot more broth.
Ah,
There's a
really?
lot more, and it's really, to me, it's tastier.
It is tastier than
Got
the
the
can.
bone broth in it.
Sure. Oh, you're right. The bone. Okay.
So that does make a difference.
Gotcha.
But anyway, then I'm going to add probably at least 1, maybe 2 cans, and you can judge it, you know, when you're putting your
Chicken
stew
broth?
together of chicken
Okay.
broth. Yeah. So I've got a couple of cans of chicken broth here. I've got a couple of cans of cream style corn. Any brand will do. This was some new brand they had at our store over here. I've never seen that brand before, but any brand, the store brand. You're going to have a large 28-ounce can of whole tomatoes. Now you can use the petite diced or the diced tomatoes or the stewed tomatoes, whatever kind you want, but this is what Mamaw used, and I like to use it. And you know why?
Why?
Because I can still remember her dumping those out and cutting those tomatoes with her knife, and to me it just makes it more old-fashioned. Because, you know, they didn't used to have all the little fancy cups of
Choices,
tomatoes.
right.
They had a can of stewed tomatoes or a can of whole tomatoes.
And you know, those were cans that a lot of times that they actually can themselves. It's not like
Exactly.
going to the store and buying these.
You are so right,
So-
Dam. So, anyway, a large can of tomatoes, and then macaroni. Who doesn't love macaroni, right?
I love it.
So these are just little elbows, and we're going to add some of those, and a little bit of sugar, and salt and pepper to taste. I'm going to go ahead and get the salt and pepper out.
This sounds yummy.
It
Can't wait
is.
to- can't wait to try
It's so yummy. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this together,
Okay.
and we're going to start by, Deb and I have already cut up 4 large potatoes. And we're going to go ahead and put that in our micro cooker. And I'm doing that because we're hungry and we want to eat supper here soon. And my husband's also hungry, and we don't need him wandering in here while we're cooking going, when's it going to be ready? So we're going to put it in the microwave for 5 or 6 minutes and get it going.
We diced these potatoes too, so
Yeah.
just kind of small, and I think that'll help to
Yeah.
cook a little bit quicker too.
It will. They're about the size you would use for a good potato salad. A
Water.
little bit of water. And again, Deb and I don't really measure stuff that much. So we're eyeballing a little bit of water. You know what a little bit of water means. You know what we could do, Deb?
What's
is
that?
Get this onion chopped up and put it in there too.
All right, let's do that.
So Debbie's going to chop that in the Pampered Chef chopper. So
The food chopper.
the food,
Oops.
yeah.
It has. This is the food chopper. You just cut your onion down or whatever vegetable. I've already cut that, haven't I?
Let me see if I can zoom in on you doing
Okay.
that, Deb.
Just chop, chop, chop. And you can chop till you get it down really small, or you can leave
Yeah,
bigger
we don't
chunks.
want it real small because it's a stew.
Too small.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's not too.
Little
Just
bit
don't pulverize it, Debbie.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I won't pulverize it.
All right. So that's a quick and easy way to dice up onions.
Yeah, already done. A whole onion already cut.
I mean,
cut up.
I would still be cutting it with a knife
Yeah.
for sure. All right. So while she is doing that, I'm going to be opening these cans. We'll do that real quick. Mainly, let's see, the broth.
Hey, Mo, how long should I put this into the microwave? Do you know?
I would go ahead and cook it for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Did I give you the lid?
I'll take it.
So it's just gonna give it a good head start, and it'll quicken the cooking time quite a bit if they're already a little soft. I do any kind of stew or anything. My husband loves beef stew, and you know it has carrots in it.
Uh-huh.
It seems like carrots take forever
They do.
to soften.
They do.
So I definitely do that when I do beef stew.
I've never even thought of that. That's a great tip to get them a head start in the
And
microwave.
you know, people like us that have worked all day, and by the time you get through traffic and get home, and you know,
You don't want to wait all
you
evening.
don't want to
You're
wait an
starving.
hour and a half to eat. So
I'll go ahead and open a few more cans for you.
okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in both cans of the broth. All right, we'll just let that simmer a little bit. So I found a cute little thing on the internet one of my friends shared today, and I've got to show y'all because we don't measure a lot. I mean, we do when we're going by recipes, but I thought of Debbie when I saw this, but it says, I don't measure a thing when I cook. I just sprinkle and add stuff until I hear the spirit of my ancestors whisper, child, that's enough. I love that.
That's how I cook, though. I
think-
just don't measure hardly anything.
Yeah. I think when you get our age and you've been cooking that long, I think that's how a lot of us cook. Don't you guys?
Some things you need to, like if you're baking something and you're putting flour and sugar and baking powder and things
Things
those
that are
need to be-
important
those
to not.
need to be measured.
Yeah.
But a little
Yeah.
Italian seasoning or a little
Yeah.
salt, a little
Yeah.
pepper, I just
Well,
take a guess.
Mamaw, whose chicken stew we're making, she was a dash of this and a pinch of that, and man, I used to follow her around the kitchen, and one of these days, Deb and I are going to make her pinto beans for you. If you've never mastered pinto beans, I'm telling you, it took me several years to do it, and it took me following her around the kitchen, you know, and just going, okay, now what are you doing? Now what are you doing? Now what are you doing? And finally, I did it, and so I can make some pretty good pinto beans now.
That is a hard thing to cook too.
It is,
Pinto beans,
especially
getting
when
it
you're
down
starting
right.
out.
Oh yes.
You're like,
It took me
they're
a while.
runny, they're watery, they're not
They're tasteless.
done.
They're
Yeah.
not done. That's really
yeah.
a big one.
Yeah, that's really a big one.
Yeah.
But she was a great cook. Okay, let me think. What are we doing now?
So
What does it say, Dan?
potatoes and onions are in the microwave, and then 1 large can of tomatoes are ready to go
Okay.
in.
Okay. So what Mamaw did is she would go ahead and add her potatoes and onions and cook them for about 10 minutes
Oh,
before
okay.
it's kind of like a layering process. You know, she'll add something and let it cook for a few
Okay.
minutes and simmer or whatever, and then she would add the next ingredient. And we're going to have this recipe down in the comments. So, but I tell you what we'll do, Deb. is we're going to cut up those tomatoes Mamaw style.
Okay. You got your knife?
Yep. You got one?
I have one, yes.
Okay. So here's how Mamaw would cut up. Now this is messy. Are you ready for messy?
I guess so.
All right. Okay. So we're just going to pick up a tomato and we're just going to start cutting it up.
Okay.
And it squirts all over you, and there's no rhyme nor reason. But you know what? To me, this makes this dish old-fashioned because this is exactly what they would have done.
Yes, it's a little bit messy.
It's fun though. If you've never dug your hand, stuck your hand down in a
Can of tomatoes.
a big old. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah.
Sorry.
Listen, didn't go in my eye. I've got on protection.
That's what these aprons are for.
Yeah, that's
they
right.
protect us.
That is right.
I'll try not to do that again.
But yeah, that is really cool. I'm gonna let you add it.
Okay.
Let you finish it
Okay,
up.
I can do this.
You're so good at it, Neil.
Our potatoes are almost done.
Yeah, that's
So
what
they'll
I
be
thought.
ready
I'm
to
gonna
go.
get ready to add them. Just a couple more seconds. And
See, I probably would have bought a can of already cut up tomatoes.
Nope.
Were I doing this? But I'm sure this is going to be the better way to do it.
I'm gonna pour the water that we added off of these potatoes.
Okay.
Because we don't want a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, you got a lot of good flavors going on already, so
You smell it?
I'm starting to smell it. Yeah.
Yep. The onions and taters.
All right. Do you keep the juice to these tomatoes?
Yes, I do keep the juice
Okay.
to the tomatoes because I love me some tomato juice.
Okay.
All right, I'm adding the potatoes and onions, adding them to the broth, giving it a good stir.
Keep the juice. So
Next
tomatoes are
step
cut
will
up.
be tomatoes.
All
Let's
right.
put them in order. So we got the onions and potatoes in here. They're cooking for 10 minutes. We're gonna add the tomatoes, add the cream corn,
They're next, right here.
and then the macaroni. Okay, and to this you're gonna add half a box of macaroni. So one time I added too much, and you know what happens to macaroni when you cook it?
It grows and grows.
So we
and
had
grows.
macaroni stew is what it was. So the recipe calls for, it says half a box. Well, this box is 16 ounces. I don't really want 8 ounces of macaroni. So I put about 3/4 a cup is what I do.
Okay.
So we'll
So-
add that
When's
Yeah.
the chicken go in?
the very last.
Really? You let
Mhm.
it last? Okay.
Yeah, because we want it to be, we don't want it to, I like
Get
it in
too-
big chunks.
Uh-huh.
And when you're stirring all this, you know, it kind of gets a little bit more shredded. So, yeah, she was always adding it last. So,
okay.
mhm.
So, how long after you put the macaroni in? It's going to cook for a little while, and then you add the chicken after.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
So you let it cook for, I guess, just till the macaroni. Mamaw's recipe says cook until done. So, you know, I remember asking her, can you write down some of your recipes for me? And there was a lot of them that she wrote down thinking that I knew what she was talking about, and I had to go back and say, what does this mean? So cook until done. So basically when the macaroni's done, then you can go ahead and add your chicken.
Okay.
So we're gonna let this cook for a minute and we'll be right back. Okay, so we've let the potatoes and onions cook in this broth for around 10 minutes.
It smells so good.
Yeah, it's smelling good, isn't it, Dan?
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
so now we're gonna start adding the other ingredients, starting with the tomatoes. Gonna add in a can of whole tomatoes that we have
We chopped.
painstakingly chopped with our very own hands and knife. Okay, so then after that, we're going to add 2 cans of creamed corn. Like I said, any brand will work. You're just gonna add that. And y'all know that corn has a lot of sugar in it. So when you're adding something to a recipe like corn that has a high content of sugar, you're gonna need to be really diligent about stirring. So it does. Where's my spoon?
I put it over here.
Oh,
Sorry.
so it
I thought we were through
doesn't.
with it.
No. We gotta stir this baby up, so it doesn't start sticking on you. Yes.
That's
So
a good tip.
the first time I made it, I actually scorched it because I didn't know that little trick, and I told Mama about me scorching it. And she said, "Oh, you gotta stir it." So that's one of those little tricks they don't tell you. All the little tricks to cooking. But you know what? Mo and Deb are telling y'all. So you will know. Stir this really good and then keep coming back and stirring it. Okay? So after that, we're gonna add, I told you about a 3/4 cup, but I think it's more like a cup. So add about a cup of the macaroni noodles, not the giant ones, just the regular size. Again, macaroni's high starch content as well, or it's real starchy.
Yeah.
So it's gonna do the same thing. If you're not diligent about stirring it,
They'll stick together.
they'll stick together.
Yeah.
They'll stick on the bottom of your pan.
Yeah.
And I've got my heat on medium right now. It's on 6 on my stove, so that's about medium.
Yeah. This would be so good in the winter, wouldn't it? A snowy
Yes.
day and having
Yes.
Mamaw's beef chicken stew, that would
Yes.
be awesome.
Yeah, it is
sounds so good.
it's a comfort food. It really is a comfort food. It just makes you feel good. And you know, chicken soup for the soul. Chicken
That's
soup
right.
for when you're sick. And so it's got all that chicken broth in it. So it's bound to be good for you.
Sure.
All right, now, this was, I think, a little extra ingredient that Mama would add just because it makes it so much better. You do not have to add this, but it is a 1/4 cup of white sugar.
I have never heard of sugar being
Yeah.
in the soup. But
Well, you
I
know,
can't wait to taste it.
I hate to give away all her secrets, but she put sugar in a lot of
Did
stuff.
she really?
Yeah. She put a little, like 2 tablespoons in her pinto beans.
Pinto beans?
And it really makes a difference because I've tried leaving it out and it's not as
I
good.
have never
Isn't that
heard
funny?
of that.
But see, I mean, you know, the old folks knew all
They
these
did.
tricks to make you go, that was the best I've ever had.
That's right.
You know. So anyway, I've stirred that, and it says salt and pepper to taste. So I know about how much salt I like in it, and this is a big pot, y'all. I promise I'm not running
That's
our
a
blood
lot of
pressure up.
food. And it's gonna last a while. Like we were just talking about leftovers.
Yeah,
So
you can use
there's
the
a lot of food.
leftovers, eat off of them for several days, and I promise you will want to. It's not going to be one of those leftovers you forget about in the fridge.
Y'all, it looks so good.
It is so good, and you know the macaroni hasn't even started cooking yet. Now, Debbie, what do you think is the last thing we do?
Could it be this chicken we're gonna put in there?
It could be the chicken. So I'm going to wash my hands one more time just because we're gonna pull this chicken apart the old-fashioned way.
With our hands?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if you have the Pampered Chef, what is that called?
Salad choppers.
Salad choppers, which I don't.
And I
It's
didn't know we
another
needed
thing
them today.
It's another thing I didn't know I needed until I needed it.
They would be great for cutting this up, but your hands work well, so
Right.
we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way, just like Mamaw would have done it.
That's
right?
right. We're doing it like Mamaw. This is Mamaw's recipe. We're gonna honor Mamaw with our cooking today. So we're just gonna grab you a chicken breast, and we like to put the big chunks in it.
Okay.
We're not gonna shred it or
Okay,
anything.
I would have shredded. I'm glad you said
No, we want big chunks.
Okay.
Chucks. We want big chunks.
We're chunking it up.
That's right. It's gonna be a chunky. It is a stew and not a soup. So
Okay.
stew likes big chunks.
You're right.
So
Well, it smells good. The,
I know.
the stew smells good. This chicken smells good, and I'm hungry.
I'm
I haven't hardly ate today,
Me
so-
too. Me too.
I'm ready to have some good food.
I had a nasty old frozen, supposedly healthy choice meal, healthy meal, whatever.
They're
Anyway,
not always that great.
no, there ain't nothing like home cooking, y'all.
There's really not. We cook almost at my house. We cook almost every evening.
We do too. And a lot
Sometimes
of times,
it might just be a sandwich or a grilled cheese or something really easy, but
yeah.
we quite often have
Yeah.
a pretty good meal.
Well, and when you love to cook, I mean, why not cook, right?
Exactly.
Because it truly is a passion of ours, and I hope it becomes, or maybe it is already, a passion of yours.
Yeah.
But we love to cook.
And one way to make it a little bit easier on yourself, especially whenever you've worked all day like we do, like a lot of people do, it takes a few minutes, but do some meal planning.
Yeah.
Start on a Sunday. Know what you're going to have throughout the week so that you can have time to run to the grocery store and get most of what you need. You got it on hand. You don't have to stop at the store on the way home from work.
Yeah.
That's always a pain.
It's always a pain, but I seem to always have to do it, you know?
But if you can meal plan a little bit, you can take that step out and
Yeah.
get yourself home so you can get dinner done quicker.
Yeah, and you can also eat healthier that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, you know, when you don't plan and it's getting late, it's 7 o'clock at night and you haven't had supper, what do you normally do? You're going to run get a pizza.
Through McDonald's or something, something quick that's going to be heavy, fattening, that you don't really need. It's fun to have that every now and then, but if you plan ahead and have some food on hand that you can make some good chicken stew, that's a great thing to do.
So see, that didn't take long, even doing it the old-fashioned way. So we're going to go ahead and add our chicken right to the top of that. And again, I'm going to stir this good. It's not sticking on me, so that's a good sign. All right.
Is it thick or how's it
It will be thick. When the macaroni gets
gotcha.
done, it will be thick. So right now it's kind of not thick,
But it will be.
but it will be thick.
I mean, it really is kind of thick, to tell you the truth. It's got a lot of, like we said, the
I'm gonna give
chicken
you
is
the
chunky.
spoon.
Okay.
And I'm going to get the camera so they can see inside the
Oh,
pot.
great idea.
Yeah.
It looks really yummy.
I don't know how close I can get from here, but
Maybe I can. Oh, you got it.
is that good?
See if I can tip a little bit. There you go.
So that's what it looks like right now. Now when it, like I said, when that macaroni gets done, it will thicken that up,
Yeah.
so it'll be a good thick stew.
You're gonna get a copy of Mamaw's recipe, right, Mo?
Yes.
It's gonna be in the comments.
Now, Mama never told me that I couldn't share her recipe, so I guess I won't get in trouble, you know. But
Thank goodness we can pass her recipe around, 'cause it's
Exactly.
gonna be something that we want to share.
And Mamaw's name was Geneva Abbott Tinker, and she was one of the best cooks in Dade County. And if you've ever had her cooking, drop us a message below and say, yes, she was. She was the best cook in Dade County. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was a little longer than some of them, but y'all are going to love this chicken stew.
Yum.
Guarantee you. We're about to eat one in about, what, maybe 15, 20 minutes. See y'all later.
Bye.
There's our. See you later.